about an inch. So that first level is 6 inches off the floor. And overall, the very top set of tanks will be 62.5 inches off the ground. So those will be the cuts of my posts. So that is the drawing, and we'll start getting our cuts done. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Biotopes. I'm so sorry, it's been a long time since I've uploaded a video. You guys all get it, you know, life gets in the way, get busy, work, family, everything else. But enough of that, wanted to get this fish room build going. So the next big step here is to build the stands. So I'm in my barn. I'm gonna start the stand for our really quarantine, breeder, you know, grow out tanks. It's gonna be 4 20 highs and 2 or 3 10-gallon tanks. So this will be 3 levels high. We'll start the first level about 6 inches off the ground and build from there. And it should be really great. I'm building this in my barn. I've done the measurements. It'll fit through the door of the fish room. So this is just a more larger space to do this, to make this happen. So we'll kind of go through this together and I'll show you exactly what we're doing. Here's my supplies. I've got 8 2x4s. I think I'll only need 7, but I got an extra one just in case. And I'll make sure I give you a whole supply list on what exactly we use. I got my level. I've got, these are exterior screws. They're the number 9 2.5 inch star screws. And some tools here. I've got my chop saw that I'll use to cut. Of course, tape measure. I've got a couple different drills. Got a angle there, corner, 2 drills here. So I'm gonna do one for drilling the hole, pre-drill the holes, and the other one for driving the screws. This is a little bit of the plan. Excuse my drawing, but this will give you an idea what we're doing. You can see it's 4 20 gallons on end, 2 in that first level, 2 in the second, and then the top kind of above the page would be, you know, potentially some 10s. And that will be the plan. So you see I've got my materials list here, just about. I'm gonna extend this about an inch. So that first level is 6 inches off the floor. And overall, the very top set of tanks will be 62.5 inches off the ground. So those will be the cuts of my posts. So that is the drawing, and we'll start getting our cuts done. With all the wood cut, so these long ones are 62.5 inches. This is 25.25, 24.25, 21.25. So these are for these 62.5. These are the posts, the corner posts. The 25.25, that is the front and back edges. So like here's the 2 20 highs. So the 25s are gonna be right in the front and the back. And the sides are 21.25 on each side there. And then the 24.25, those will be my braces that will run essentially, if this is up on the post, the full length here. We'll do that under each level. So I've got 4 62.5 and then 6 of each, 25.25, 24.25, 21.25. So that's how they'll go at each level. The next step will be to build the 3 levels, and we'll get those built and then we'll get them on the posts. stay tuned. So here is where we are at thus far. So this is the 4 posts and the first level of the tanks. So what I did first is I built these 3, I guess, squares. And these will be the 3 levels. So you see there's a level there that's 6 inches off the ground. There'll be another level about 34 or so. And then there'll be another level up at the top. So built those first. I showed you the cuts the last time. And I've got some weights sitting here because this one was just a little bit wobbly. These all turned out really well, but you can see I just have a couple of screws in each end. And I did that also on the posts. I put a couple screws in there on each of the sides. Got a couple of these 20 high sitting on there now. They fit like a glove, which was really great. It was, I mean, within like, you know, a half an inch total. I mean, that one's right there. So fit great. I'm just trying to like limit the amount of space it takes up, and this is perfect. So, you know, building it by myself, the 3 squares, the 3 levels, the platforms, I guess, were fine. But getting these 4 posts screwed onto that first level was kind of tough. So I laid it essentially on its side and did the 2 bottoms, you know, floor side first. And anyway, it came out great. So the next step is gonna be, I'm gonna put this platform here. I'm gonna put that in the top. So we'll have these level. I'll make sure that these are right where they need to be. I'll use, you know, my level here and make sure those are straight. And then I'll attach that onto each of those 4 posts. Again, being by myself, it might be a little bit touch and go, but I think I'll do like a screw on each side and then make sure it's level as I go around. So that's really the next step in the build. So we'll get you guys updated here in a second. Time for an update. So we've got the top platform installed. I've got a couple 20s on there so you can see how they fit. So again, we've got that first platform at 6 inches. This is, I think, 62.5 inches is where these sit right here. Now, one thing I will say, this was very difficult. Again, I'm by myself. I don't have clamps. So it was very tough to get these level, the uprights level, it level this way. And normally what I would suggest to do is you drill a hole first and then drive your screws in. And if you don't do that, what happens is you get this little kind of gap in here. I was able to drill a hole through these uprights, but not into this the platform, and you'll get this separation. So I think what I'm gonna do is pull these screws out one at a time, drill the hole so it goes into this next piece, and then put the screw in, and that'll tighten that up. So like that side was bad, this side's not as bad. Yeah, see this side, you can see a big gap there. So I'll, again, pull those screws out and drill that in again. Let's check this corner. This corner is not bad at all. But pretty happy with what we got done there with that. Again, by myself without any clamps. You had C clamps or something. It would really help to kind of hold this in place as you drill and screw the holes in. So again, the next thing I'll do is I'll fix these 2 corners in particular, and then we're gonna get that middle shelf, which again, it's about 36 inches. give or take. You can see that kind of line right there. That will be the top of that shelf. And what happens is when it's all said and done, as you'll see when it's all complete, is I'll have 8 inches between the top of a 20 high and the bottom of the next shelf. So I worked all that out, and that's how much space I'll have. So I'm gonna get this next shelf in and fix those corners, and we'll check back in with you. Update time. So I've got all 3 platforms. So that middle platform is in. You can see the 2 20 highs sitting on there. It's a great fit. And this is exactly 8 inches. And then also what I did is I put these kind of supports in here. You know, these 2x4s are probably enough for, you know, 2 20-gallon tanks. But just to be safe, I put these supports, and as you can see, I just screwed them in on the side, and they're just help supporting the main shelf that the tanks are sitting on. So you can see there, and then down on this one, because it's so close to the ground, I just turned the 2x4 kind of sideways, like that, and drilled through the side here. I got those in. Now, I've got to say thank you to a couple people that really helped me out in where I got this design from. Number one, the Fish Nerd. If you haven't seen his channel, it's full of lots of great tips. And this is actually part of his build. And the great thing about this particular rack is that it really limits the amount of space that side to side that it takes up. So in a fish room where you're looking to save space, you're only, you know, an inch and a half on each side of whatever size tanks you're looking to keep. So it's really a space saver, and still very sturdy. So I'll link his rack builds and where this design came from, and also Greg Sage, the owner of Select Aquatics. Just incredible knowledge and experience in building a fish room, and in terms of like overall design and organization of the fish room, he's really great. So be sure you check out Select Aquatics. He's got a ton of articles there on building a fish room and building racks and so forth. So so those are 2 great influences and recommendations for me. So the next thing I've got to do really is I'm going to put a platform on top. And so I've got this wood here I'm going to cut. It's 24.5 by 25.5, or quarter. 24.5 by 25.25 is what this top side to side is here. So this space, and then this edge to the back edge. So I'll put that platform on top here. It'll allow me some flexibility for sizes of tanks, because I'll put 10s up here for now, and then the future I can add 20s or whatever I need. So that's why I'm doing that. And then obviously I'll paint this all black, and it'll look great. So stay tuned for the next update. So here's the finished stand. Next is just gonna paint. So I put this platform on top, this plywood here, and so it's all ready for paint. This will be the front, and this is again gonna hold eventually six 20 talls on end. So 2 there, 2 there, and 2 on top. So stay tuned for the next part. All right, fish heads, so the first rack is done. Let's take a look. Here is the first rack in the fish room. This is gonna be 6 20 highs, 2 here at the bottom, 2, and then 2 on this top shelf. It is all painted, super level. It is right as rain and ready for tanks. So So again, this is a great design if you're looking to minimize the amount of space kind of left to right. You can see I've got it right here where this door opens. And the great thing about this is this is like exactly, so I can get that door all the way open so that the door handle misses the rack. That was purely by accident. So it's nice when things work out that way, but that's the rack. It is complete. And again, if you have any questions about how to build this, please reach out, let me know. I can fill in any details, but just painted it a black and sanded it down a little bit. I filled in kind of these front screw head holes a little bit and sanded that down just to have a nice finish on the front. And I'll move in a couple 20 so you can see what that looks like. Check it out, Biotope brothers and sisters. There's the two 20 highs. We'll take these two 20 highs, we'll break those down and put those there. And then for now, I've got a couple 10s I can put up top, but eventually that'll grow into two more 20 highs. So the next thing to do is I'm gonna drill these tanks and install overflows. So stay tuned for that. Oh, also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I painted this floor. This is a dark gray, just a cement kind of patio paint. So this will help protect it a little bit, but more than anything, really kind of keeps it clean, easy to clean up, really, kind of cleans up and finishes off the room. So really glad I got that in. Want to get that done before I got the racks in here. So that's where we're at. All right, everybody, that's gonna do it for this video. I really appreciate you guys coming along for the journey. Got a lot done. We got the fish room floor painted. We got our first rack built. And now we're gonna be on to drilling tanks and getting the overflow system set. So if you wanna see how that's done, how we do that, make sure you subscribe. If you haven't already, please do so. I really appreciate it, helps the channel grow. Hit that like button and turn that notification so that every time we upload a video, you'll get notified. It should be a lot more hot and heavy as we're really kind of starting to gain traction here in the fish room. So thanks for joining me and here in the Biotopes, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Thanks so much.